Hey, welcome to day 3. I hope that you're feeling good so far. We're gonna keep going, it's gonna be amazing. So today's focus is going to be plank, or known as Chaturanga, the action of shifting from plank, lowering to your belly. It's gonna activate every muscle in your body and get that furnace fired up. So let's go ahead and get started. We're gonna come to our hands and our knees. Now, if you can't do a plank, that's okay. We can always start with our knees down. So I'm gonna come into my modified plank by first at least step into your whole plank. If you can't hold this, that's okay. Then I'm just gonna lower my knees down. My shoulders are a little bit behind my wrists right now. I wanna lean over them with my shoulders, keeping the collarbones broad, neck is long. That instantly makes me pull that low belly up and in. So again, come to your plank, set your knees down, and then micro bend in the elbows, shift forward over your wrists, and hold here nice and strong. I'm squeezing my low belly, my thighs are squeezing towards one another, and then back off. So you can play with that for as much as you need to, and then even move through your chaturanga from that pose. So how that would look, my fingers are nice and wide, I'm clawing the ground as though I'm trying to pull the mat back towards me, and I'm pressing through the entire circle of my palm while pulling up through the center. So my hands come right under my shoulders, knees set down, micro bend in the elbows to pull them in, shift forward over those wrists, and then the first thing to touch is my chest and my chin. I'm gonna keep that low belly up and in. So I lower all the way down, my elbows kind of look like a cricket's, and so I'm in this inchworm position, and then I'm going to lay all the way out, putting the tops of my feet to the mat. Go and look back behind you, make sure they're not turned in or turned out. Beautiful. So now to reverse that, I'm going to tuck my toes, scooch my knees forward, which lifts that low back, and then press the mat away, keeping those elbows turned in. So a yoga push-up is not like a regular push-up. So regular push-up, your arms are out by the side, elbows bend out to the side, and you lower down. This is entirely different from that. So your hands are under the shoulders, and elbows are pulling in towards the sides. So you're really activating the top and bottom of your muscles. Now to do a full version of that, same thing, fingers spread nice and wide, and then I would go grrr, get your claws out. So I'm gripping the ground, I'm trying to pull that mat back towards my face. I lift up into my plank, so do not let your belly drop. That's not okay for your spine, and again, if you can't hold it, come and put your knees down. But I'm gonna press into my toes, press into my hands, as if I'm trying to split the mat in two, pushing it out away from me. Micro bend in the elbows, pull them in towards my sides, and reach my chest through my shoulders. Then to do my push down, I'm gonna shift my weight into my toes, shoulders over my wrists, bend the elbows, lowering down as one straight body. Then coming to the tops of my feet. Then to reverse that, hands are under the shoulders, clawing the ground, toes tucked. This time I'm gonna press up in one straight line. So as you can see, that's a lot of work for the shoulders when you're lowering down and back up. It's gonna build the strength that you need for your handstands or any of your arm balances. And again, it's very fiery, so make sure that you're breathing here. So breaking down the plank once more, fingers are nice and spread, gripping the ground, pressing through the ring of the palm, pulling up through the center. Elbows micro bend here, lifting the legs, shifting my weight forward, and I want to activate my body just like I did in mountain pose. So my legs are nice and tight here, my kneecaps are lifting up towards my hips, my low belly is pulling up towards my spine, my tailbone is free, my sits bone's wide, and I'm really pressing into every muscle. And then shifting forward onto those toes, lowering halfway down, I roll to the tops of my feet, keeping those elbows bent, back of the neck long, belly still squeezing. This is cobra. or you can set the knees down for up dog. And then lowering down all the way. So play with that a few times, whether it feels better to have your knees down, making sure that you're leaning forward over those wrists is very important. Or if you can go into that straight plank, maybe if you're not ready to do the full push-up yet, just practice lowering halfway and then halfway back up, or just hold. That's enough to get your fire going, just holding plank. And if your wrists are super sensitive, or if you have a wrist injury going on, some carpal tunnel, you can always lower to your forearms. But again, keeping the shoulders over the elbows now, collarbone is broad, and I'm still activating my whole body as though I were holding this in plank. And then this is actually a good setup for dolphin, which gets you into your arm balances. So as always, be mindful of your body and never push it past its ability. We always want to work with our body and meet it where it's at, and then work with it and guide it to going a little bit further. Now I'm going to move into my freestyle portion of the flow. If you want to follow along to it, head over to joyscola.com